High drama in short, action-packed races has helped Rallycross grow. Tanner Foust is one of the biggest names in the American motorsport industry.
Made a decision about 10 years ago that anything I did was going to be about fun for driving. And of course, Rallycross fit the profile of what is most fun about driving for me.
Having raced in the European and World Rallycross Championships, Foust is a massive fan of the sport. But so far, Rallycross has struggled somewhat to gain a foothold in his native country.
And I saw a video of Marcus Grönholm racing in Sweden in Little Fiesta, and I was like, what the hell is that? Is this? And it's Rallycross. And I started looking into it. It's like old Volvos and old crazy Peugeots and Ford rally cars, and then the Group B rally car era, old Volkswagen Beetles actually with 800 horsepower. It's been going on for 50 years over there. And it was a time when really we needed small car racing in the US that was cool. And, you know, an alternative to NASCAR, I guess, for a younger generation of enthusiasts.
With a gap in the market, the American Rallycross Championship was formed. We headed stateside for the final round at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas.
Yeah, the North American market is one of the biggest markets in the world for car manufacturers, and it was always an ambition to come here with a World Championship, but it was very important for us to have a domestic championship in America. The World Championship comes in once a year and then disappears, but you have to have sustained racing, Rallycross racing throughout the whole year. And the opportunity came up to launch America's Rallycross, and that's what we did.
Attracting big names is key for a successful first year, and they don't come any bigger than Ken Block's Hoonigan racing team. Block is known for his viral Gymkhana videos and stunt driving. He joined forces with the Lonenbro race team and Steve Arpin, who found the sport late into his career. Arpin hopes that a new generation can discover Rallycross as early as they do in Europe.
They have such a foundation already established from a grassroots level all the way up to the pinnacle. So on the American side, it's a lot different. We have the pinnacle, and we're trying to build down to the grassroots sides of it to give young fellas and young kids coming up a path to get to the supercars.
With NASCAR and IndyCar dominating the North American market, it's hard for any other motorsport to gain momentum. Arpin had previously been involved in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and he believes that there is a place for Rallycross if it can stick to its roots.
The American motorsports industry is saturated. We have so many different forms of motorsports that the American market can consume on any given weekend. So with Rallycross, I think we need to really take things and step it up to that next level. We need to create racetracks with incredible passing opportunities and side-by-side racing that are just so fan-friendly. It's second to none. We really need to capitalize on the roots of this sport, and that's like, you see here, it's such an open paddock. It gives all of our guests like the opportunity to come right up to these cars, check everything out, climb in the cars if they want to, and just give them that experience that no other form of motorsports has.
The advantage of having modified versions of consumer cars has always been the draw for fans, helping them identify more with the sport.
With kids, these are cars that are your first car. You know, a Beetle, a Fiesta, a Subaru. These are what would be called, you know, B group cars around the rest of the world, or something where they're entry-level cars. And so for a younger generation, especially up to the point that they're getting their license at 16 in the US, to become a fan of these cars and aspire to own one and not have it be that much out of reach, it's making a connection between their enthusiasm and their dream and what they can actually drive every day.
The joint forces of Block and Arpin only joined the championship in round 2 and soon found that they were playing catch-up to the two Volkswagen Andretti Beetles of Foust and ex-F1 driver Scott Speed. Going into the event in Texas, Speed led the standings, having won the previous 2 rounds. Putting on a good show in Austin in the final round was crucial for all concerned.
So Rallycross is about the best spectator motorsport in the world, I think. And it's one of those things that we go to a new market almost every race in the US because it's a new sport in the US, and they get completely hooked. I like to think of Rallycross as the motorsport for people with ADD. So if you have attention deficit disorder, you only have to watch a race for 3 minutes. It has a drag racing start, it has pushing, it has high speeds, it has dirt, jumps, you know, big finish. So you get all of the highlight reel of motorsport in 3 minutes, and so I think it hooks new fans very well.
Many of the crowd were experiencing the sport for the first time, and they had no preconceptions or idea of the skill levels required.
It's a little more dangerous than almost any other sport. It's different from your quarter miles and your track times and stuff like that. You're actually in dirt and on street at the same time, so it's pretty crazy, but I really enjoy it.
Very technical, super fast, very loud.
You need a lot of technique to win. That's really cool.
Oh, I feel like it can grow. I feel like it can grow.
I just don't think we've experienced it yet, and now that it's here, it's like something new that we get to try. So I think it's something that'll like pick up, honestly. It's really cool.
Engine trouble for Ken Block's car before the final meant that only 5 cars made the starting grid for the last race of the championship. With Tanner Foust on pole, his job of overturning his teammate's championship lead was made harder with 1 less car on track. He would have to put all 4 cars between himself and speed. The 2 Beetles were too quick for the rest of the pack, and they stormed away from Steve Arpin in the Focus. With second enough for the championship title, Speed cruised around the track and watched Foust claim the round 4 victory, safe in the knowledge that he would be the first recipient of the American Rallycross trophy. With a second season planned, the future looks bright for the sport in North America.
It's just the most exciting form of motorsports that I've ever had the opportunity to be in. The intensity of the racing, the way we do our starts, it's the first form of racing where it's like my heart is just pounding out of my chest before we even take the green flag.
Rallycross is the kind of sport that looks fun enough that it inspires a new generation of automotive enthusiasts to follow their dream of racing cars.